The Cat in the Shadows by the Confused Camper. It was a stormy night, and Sarah had just moved into the old farmhouse at the edge of town. The wind howled through the cracked windows, and the rain battered against the roof as though trying to break inside. The place had been abandoned for years, but something about it called to her. She had always liked old, forgotten things, places, objects, memories. As Sarah settled into the creaky chair by the fireplace, a strange sound made her pause. It was a soft scratching, like claws tapping gently against the wooden floor. She stood up, heart racing, but saw nothing in the dim light. Only shadows stretched across the room, twisting and contorting in the flickering firelight. Then she saw it. A black cat, its fur as dark as the night itself, emerged from the shadows. Its eyes gleamed with an eerie, almost unnatural green glow. It didn't move like any cat she'd ever seen. Its body was rigid, its movements deliberate, as if it was more than just an animal. It stared at Sarah for a long moment, unblinking, before turning and slinking silently into the darkness of the hallway. Shivers crawled down her spine. Sarah had always been a cat person, but there was something unsettling about this one. She followed it, drawn in by some strange, inexplicable pull. The cat led her through the winding hallways of the house, deeper and deeper into the darkness. As she walked, the air grew colder, the silence thicker. The shadows seemed to move, twisting in unnatural ways. Each step she took echoed in the emptiness, a constant reminder that she was not alone. Sarah reached the end of the hallway, where a door stood ajar, its hinges creaking softly. The black cat was gone, but there was a strange, acrid smell lingering in the air. She pushed the door open slowly, her heart hammering in her chest. The room was empty, except for an old, dust-covered mirror hanging on the far wall. As she stepped inside, she noticed something odd. The reflection in the mirror wasn't quite right. In the glass, there was no shadow of Sarah, just the black cat, staring back at her with those glowing green eyes. Before she could react, the door slammed shut behind her with a deafening bang. The temperature dropped even further, and the reflection of the cat in the mirror began to move on its own, slowly stepping toward Sarah. She turned around, but there was no escape. The cat in the mirror came closer, its gaze never leaving her. With each step, it seemed to grow larger, its features more monstrous. Sarah screamed, her voice barely audible over the howling wind, but the sound was swallowed by the cold, dark room. The cat's eyes glowed brighter until they filled the entire mirror. It was as though they were pulling her in, drawing her closer, consuming her very soul. Then, with a final piercing scream, she was gone. In the morning, the storm had passed, and the house stood silent, empty. The only sign of Sarah's presence was a single black cat, perched on the windowsill, staring out at the quiet world beyond. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and when the wind rustled the branches of the nearby trees, it seemed to smile. The house was abandoned once more, but the cat would always remain, waiting for the next soul to wander too close to its reach. Thanks for watching, and please hit the like and subscribe buttons for more stories.